You guys have said that we should be keeping this mini F-36 Cooper S, and I admit it is an amazing car, completely specced out in all the JCW appearance packages as well as the JCW tuning packages, and we plan on doing that. Harley.
No way. No way.
We bought a crashed Mini Cooper S that had been completely written off due to body and frame damage. Then, in order to fix it, we bought a non-running base Mini Cooper. However, this Cooper is in such amazing condition that we decided that we would simply get this running with parts from the crashed Cooper S. So, in this video, we are going to be swapping both the 4-cylinder Cooper S engine and its manual transmission into a car that used to have only a 3-cylinder with automatic transmission. I have not found anyone on YouTube that has swapped the 3-cylinder or done a manual swap on an F-Series Mini. So, fingers crossed we can pull this off. So this project is going to be a lot of work, so please make sure that you like and subscribe as it really helps us out. My name is Ethan and welcome to Car Creations. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is remove as much from the front end of the red Cooper S in order to take the engine out. This means removing the crash bars, windshield washer fluid tank, and then we could move on to the rad pack. So now we have the radiators completely exposed. So here is for the air conditioning. Here's the intercooler. And then the actual radiator is behind the air conditioning unit. We made sure that we labeled everything. Wires, connectors, hoses, pretty much anything that went anywhere got the Sharpie and blue painter's tape treatment. Okay, so this rad pack is full of fluid, so I'm really not looking forward to it. We had to disconnect the coolant tank and drain as much as we could, and then we disconnected the coolant radiator, which leaked fluid all over us. Although nothing was bad as the air conditioning condenser. So normally you have to use a machine to pull the gas out of the system. However, I looked it up and this car actually has something that is safe to get released into the atmosphere. So me being my redneck self, decided I would just remove the screws and disconnect the air condenser, and it blew this gas slash coolant everywhere. It stinks like a wet horse. Alright, so next we have to remove the intercooler. The intercooler is placed right on the front of the car to get nice cold air for the turbo. Alright, so although we don't have to remove the hood in order to access anything really in the front engine bay, we are going to do that because it will just give us a bunch more room. So we're going to take off the hood. Alright, you ready?
Ready.
And then we should be able to access the ECU or the DME, basically all the little computers that are positioned by the battery. We can take out the battery tray and then the cowling that goes along the top below the front windshield. Nice, let's go! Hood off.
Yeah.
Dude, I like these hinges.
These Germans, they have to put locks on like every side of a clip.
All right, you almost got it?
Yes, sir. ECU out.
Nice. Mark came all the way across the world just for that.
For this moment. I'll see y'all later.
Take that, thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
This is going right into the new car. So I was thinking about it, and it's weird how I love minis, but it's also so much fun to take one apart. But up here, Mark got off the windshield wipers, which is congratulations.
Thank you. One of my biggest accomplishments yet.
And now he's just trying to take off this trim up here, so that should be interesting. So we looked at this for a long time, trying to figure out how you get this cowl off right here. You just go to the edge, and it's in this little rail. And so you just pull on it, and it should pull right out. There we go. Woo! So we have to remove the gear shift linkages from the transmission, and we looked online and it looks like you just put a wrench into there and you just pry it off the ball joint. So I feel a little bit sketched out, but we're gonna do that. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And same with the other one right here. There we go. And these just pop out of here and they are disconnected from the transmission. All right, so we hit a little bit of a snag. We're doing a manual swap on this car as well as the engine swap. In order to do that, we need a clutch pedal, which seems like something that you would think of, but I didn't really think about it. I knew we'd have to get a clutch pedal, but I just didn't think of the work involved. So in order to do that, it's way up in, I can't even video it, it's so high up there, way up inside the dash. So we are going to have to remove the entire front dash in order to get at it, and possibly some of the carpet too. So this is going to be a lot more work than we thought, but since this car is going to be a parts bin car anyways, I might as well just remove as much of the interior as possible, and we can list it online and hopefully get some money back for this car. So while Mark continues to work on the engine bay, and I'm going to get to work starting to remove all the components inside the car, say goodbye to the airbag, so we can access the clutch pedal and any other little computer modules that we'll need for the manual transmission car. One Harman Kardon speaker out. We're gonna have to take the entire car apart because I dropped a screw.
Good news.
What?
Halfway there.
And now I have removed the JCW steering wheel. Definitely going into the Blue Mini. So with that removed, we have access to work on the SCL, which is pretty easy. Found the missing screw. There you go. Drop down here. Comes out like so. I want to make sure I get out all the Harman Kardon speakers in the best possible condition, because these speakers are not only expensive, they could be very useful to retrofit into a different car. And we have a tweeter as well as a mid-range under there. And for the center console, we have this. And then once again, there's a little Torx screw right here, and this screen will come right out and we can access the head unit and all that stuff. And then we can start working on getting the dash out of the car. Airbags are being so annoying. I just need to...
That was fantastic.
After I very calmly removed the detonated airbag, I removed the infotainment system and the gear shifter.
That was a good sound.
Well, I got the manual knob off. A bit of a headache now though. Good thing I don't have a sunroof.
We'll keep an eye out for concussion symptoms.
This job was super easy as it was something I've done many times before. However, the gear shifter still surprised me when it came out. Now, the thing about the SDL, this has to stay perfectly up and down. Else, if you go to put it on a different car, it won't work. So, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna attempt to remove the door here. Hopefully we can figure it out, because if I can't, then Mark is gonna have to hold this door for a while.
Still attached.
Dude, let's go! I got this.
Ah, is a door.
Room to go backwards, maybe? No good spot for this, really. Wow, that was actually a lot easier to disconnect this than I thought it would be. I guess the next step is to take the seats out. Bottoms up! Dude, let's go. Okay, we're just fit.
Bougie.
It's hard to kill.
Hey, that's a good.
Are you angry right now?
That's a good thing, is it?
This car is really coming apart.
I was gonna say this car is really coming together, but yeah.
All right, I'm filming. You got this by yourself. Oh, he's smart.
Oh.
He's too smart. Oh. Forgot the airbags.
All right, take two.
All right, let's go. Nice. Into our little lounge area here.
Our new shop plan is Ethan and I are gonna build a racing sim. They're pretty comfy,
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah, I like it.
So we have to take out this center console right here, and we have to take out these seats, and then we have to work on taking out like the headliner and the carpet as well, because we have to get to the modules that are hidden in, especially up in this area up here, such as the BDC. So I am gonna get Mark on figuring out how to remove these rear seats.
All right. Let's go. I can take this side if you need. That was Don't die.
Our love seat for the lounge.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Just like that. Like so.
There you go. All right.
Except not like so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ugh.
Break my knees.
Can you get me a drink?
Sure. Yep.
All right, center console. Woo! And here's where all the gear shift linkage comes to that we disconnected over there.
This is day 104, come on!
I know. All right, we're at a critical moment right here.
This has taken the longest of all the pieces of trimming because there's so many different points that it's connected by. But after much perseverance, as I was saying, after much perseverance,
Nope, there's one more airbag thing up there.
sure you can see why this was the hardest part of the trim to take out.
Side. That is crazy. Very nice.
This is a sick racing gear.
All right.
It's a steering wheel.
Look at that. That is absolutely insane.
All right, big moment here. We are taking out the clutch pedal because the car we're swapping into doesn't have a clutch. So we have to take out the clutch and brake combo in order to swap into the new one. So Mark has it almost ready right here. Mark, are you ready?
Yes.
If we can get it.
I hope. Clutch and brake because it's the same assembly. So I'm really hoping it transfers easy to the new car. Quite a while we had to take off the whole brake master cylinder, the brake servo. We had to unhook all of that so that we could pull it all through. We got there, and hopefully, I'm just really hoping that it nicely fits into the other Mini because I have my doubts.
The only way we're gonna get it fit in is to do all this to that Mini too. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna make it work.
All right, it's now time to get the engine out of this car. I am super excited. Mark and I have spent the entire day taking all the parts out from around the engine, and now we have James here to help us get it out of the car. So we have our engine hoist here, and we have some chains, and we have our hopes and our dreams.
Brute force, you forgot to mention that.
The center console is out, we have the clutch pedal out. While I was doing that, Mark got the entire engine bay disconnected, so it should be time to remove the engine. First things first, lift up the car, remove the lower engine mount, then we can lower the car and remove the top engine mount as well as the transmission mount. So we're just taking out the Torx bolts right here, and then the engine will just be hanging by the top mounts. Apprehensive. We have this sketchy looking engine hoist to take it out of the car.
We can use trampoline springs. Oh yeah. I will pull it right out.
Something like that. And there we go. All right, so while James pumps this up, he's gonna loosen the bolts and I'm gonna supervise. We're just pumping her up, and hopefully we can clear this bar, and then it will go high enough to clear it, and then we just pull it out. We're stuck in a mount here.
Oh, so we have to pull back out?
So we have to go this way. The engine still wouldn't come forward, so we had to remove the front crosslink.
Easy does her.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hang on. Down punch card.
Come on. Yeah, it's out. Coming. It's coming. Ah! Don't make noises like that. I thought you were dead.
Not quite sure.
It's so sketchy.
Wow.
I'm not that slow, like you think. Strange vibrations in the room, and I can feel it thunder and rain. I'm a hurricane if you get in my way. I'm a hurricane, always on top of my game. Trying to get in my way.
Wait, put it back in, it was blurry.
Dead. Engine is out. I am super pumped. That was actually a lot of fun. So now is our next step and taking the red car off the lift so we can take the blue one on. It doesn't have front wheels on it, so I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to lift it with the tractor from the side. If that doesn't work, we'll take it from the front and pull it off that way. I guess we'll find out. So fingers crossed it can do it, but hopefully at least we can get it off there onto the ground, because once we do that, we can put a dolly under it and we can get it out again. This car is already smashed in on this side, so I'm not really worried about that. Quickly must take the modded gas cap off. Come on, get under here, Ethan. Front way and pull it off.
We need to get into the subframe.
What about this?
Yeah, that'll work, I guess, yeah.
All right, take two.
All right, we need to put down the jack.
I would follow anybody.
You can eat yoke.
So yeah, this is when James strong arms it.
Yeah, baby.
Finally, with a combo of tractor and jack, we got the car removed off the lift.
Oh, he got it, he got it, he got it. No way. No way. No, my goodness gracious.
And in this episode, James lifts the car. Then we're ready to start putting the engine in the blue Mini.
There she goes.
However, that is all the time that we have for today. But I'm probably gonna have to cut a ton out because this video is gonna be hours long if I don't. Although we have the engine and transmission out of the car, we're still not out of the woods yet. We still have to remove both the engine and transmission out of the other car, as well as I have no idea if this 4-cylinder with manual transmission is even gonna fit that car. Will the same radiator work? Will I have to swap all the computer modules? Will I have to swap all the wiring harnesses? What kind of coating are we gonna have to do? It's a huge list of unknowns. But we're gonna confidently storm ahead and we will see if we can get this car buttoned up. If you haven't yet, please make sure that you subscribe as it really helps us out. And if you need any parts for your car, we'll leave a link to the eBay postings down below. But most of all, we hope you all have an amazing rest of your day and we'll see you in the next one.